I think this thing has a maximum of like 17 minutes or something for video. Alright, so that's cool. I'll just put up another one. Okay, now as I was saying, this also comes from Shimoto da Mura. So Shimoto village. No, not where that is. And let's see. There's a name on it of Uchi Yame E Kichi. Uchi Yame E Kichi. And this particular bell comes from Tenpo Rokunen. That's what the kanji tells us. I took some pictures earlier. I can't really see it too well in the Tenpo Rokunen. Kugatsu. Okay. Tenpo Rokunen Kugatsu. So, this one is from September of the 6th year of the of Tenpo. Now we'll get to that in a second. Now, just find those. So this also September. Okay, so they changed it. Presumption they changed it in September, or they may have built another shrine on this is most likely another shrine in the same complex. So I'll show you. You can see also. You can see in my videos. Sometimes you have the main shrine, and then you main building shrine, and then you've got another one, and sometimes more. Now this particular one, the larger one, being from September. Kugatsu, and the 6th year, Tenpo Rokunen. The Tenpo period began in 1831. Now, you add the 6, which makes you 1837, and then you take off 1 year for the full year, the first year of the Tenpo period. Is anyone following this stuff? Right, which it's not easy, trust me, trying to get people to help with all that sort of stuff, because not everyone can read this sort of stuff, you know. There's sometimes an old kind of down there, and all this, monkey cooking, and up there a bit too, isn't it? Where is it? Up there, there it is. Up there on the platform. Am I slipping into 80s songs again? Right. Now, so the after subtracting that one particular year, you get 1836, 1836, and 1879 from the same shrine. That's temple stuff, that's shrine stuff, Buddhist stuff, Shinto stuff, Buddhist stuff. Oh, that's sort of a crossover. Buddhist stuff. We'll get to this very soon. Some people might consider that to be something. It ain't. It's that's a Buddhist symbol. Been around for centuries. Now, on this particular one, there is a name. As I say, I think I said that earlier. Uchi Yame E Kichi. There you go. That's all the information that can be garnered from those. And these are super rare. They don't come up every day. Now what happens with these is the same deal as the Suzu, the modern, more modern Suzu bells that you shake. Same deal. There's a rope and there's a thing on the top there, whether it be a bit of wood or a bit of cushioning, something like that, and you boom. Now, pardon me. I went down to, what's it called, Sukiya, and had a bowl of gruel. Right, now, this type of bell or gong or whatever you wish to call it, Suzu, is still like a lot of shrines. You still see this type there, you know, and they're really super old like that, so they're still around. They're just really rare, that's all. And I've got 2 of them. There you go. That's bronze, you know, and it's very heavy, and I plan to send them. I'll plan to send them via sea to save on freight charges. But I'll have to put a lot of packing around them. So the freight, I mean, it's not going to be terrible because it's sea freight, but it's, you know, still got to pay for it, and eBay takes 10% of freight monies, and therefore, you know, I have to lump that on. But you find that that's really something. Now, this is just an old Haori tie, like a short kimono type of tie thing. So I wouldn't have too much faith in. I wouldn't have too much faith in this if you were going to hang it up for an extended period of time. If I were you, I would get something that's be you know, a lot more stable than that. Right, and also with this, I grabbed any old generic stuff from like kimono sort of materials and all kinds of ropey bits and pieces that I've been collecting over the years, and sometimes I just sort of chuck them in and give them to customers when they buy stuff, kimono related and things like that. So again, I would get something a little bit more sturdy than that if you were to hang it. So there you are. Now I have to put them up at a price that's, you know, at least give me a few dollars. But these things, no, super rare. Only for the connoisseur. For the astute that know a fair bit about Japanese antiques and Japanese antiquities and Japanese culture, I'm sure that you know that these are, yeah, well, if you're out there watching the eBay thing, if you're watching this, yeah, I know you're keen. Alright, now let's get on to this piece of just awesome wow. Yeah. Now, what I've done is I wanted to sit it on something because the underside isn't clean. There's a video I made just a little while back when there was a bit more light, and I had the pressure washer out there, and and I was washing all the bottom of it because it was used in like a hearth, and they used sumi charcoal to heat up that in which was inside. Now I figured, what am I going to sit it on, because it's pretty dirty, and I just dragged out this old hibachi. That's an Edo period hibachi, by the way. It's been sitting in there for ages, and I figured, oh yeah, that'll do it. Well, I dragged that out. In fact, I was thinking this would even work. Like, you just chuck your sumi charcoal in there, and generally they put smokeless charcoal, because this would be used as a heater. But that'd work, and chuck it in there. But if you're keen, let me know if you're keen on this. It'd need I don't know, we'll get around to that. Okay, now, every time when people look at this and I ask them, I haven't had this for very long, and we're all querying about it, wondering, what is this piece of awesome? Now, without this, right off the bat, quite a number of Japanese people have said, senko. Senko is incense. So they thought, right, immediately off the bat, considered it to be, by seeing this, knowing right off the bat that it's from a Buddhist temple, that it was used as an incense burner. You know, you'd have all your ash in there, and you'd put all your little incense things there, and off you go. But once we had a look at this, and then we had a look at the underside of it, it has been, let me just, it has been used to heat something. Alright, and so after consideration, and let me just show you something. This is quite a long video, but now you'll see, actually on the other video I had, I mentioned this. What are you doing Saturday night? Right, this thingy. Now, this thingy here, as you can see, handles, facilitations for handles. This thing here for ocha, tea. Now, the tea is heated up elsewhere and then placed in this, apparently, and then they put this on this thingy. Isn't heated utilizing this. Now this, Buddhist temples, you can go to temples. I'm told that many temples offer ocha, which is tea. Okay? Now, this thing here, everyone believes that because there's no burn marks or anything like this, it was certainly not used as an incense burner. Here, you feel that there are lines from ocha, from boiling the tea. Now, let us further investigate, shall we? This is brass, by the way. All brass. Just like that. That'd be lion dogs, something like that. Shishis, I presume. Here. Oh, you're going to be very glad to hear that this is too heavy for sea mail and cell economy air, and it could only go via fast air. Oh, you're going to be very happy to hear freight charges. Here we have all the names of those of whom commissioned this piece for the temple. Okay. Now, I asked a friend, what do you think about age-wise? And he said, you know, there's something I've been thinking about. That's something really interesting. In fact, he's told me he's gonna go and do a bit of research on it, because he's really curious about this thing too. I mean, this bloke builds antique motorcycles, and he's well keen into this, you know, because it's just, wow. Some of the names here, surnames, do not exist anymore in Japan. Now, going to work all that out. He mentioned some names. As you can see, my handwriting is just fantastic. Now, name no longer used. There's some notes for me. Sadakichi, that's a surname, and Yoshizo, surnames that haven't been used for a long time. And I said, oh, when do you think the last name? He says, oh, probably Meiji period, or maybe the beginning of Showa or something like that. So prior to 1930s. That's where was the extent of their names. So this is, how old is this thing? You know, like that. Now, it's just awesome. So we believe that this thing was used to boil tea, ocha, at a temple. And let's have a look here. Bit of exertion there. I have been wrangling all this stuff all day, you know. Take it easy on me. Now, I was out there. This was caked with sumi, charcoaly grime and dust. It's still pretty dirty. I was out there for quite a while, and I would say that, you know, sandpaper or a buffing wheel or something like that could bring this thing up to just absolutely fantastic. So, you know, you will still get dirty. So I reckon I've put in enough effort on that. I reckon I've put enough effort into that today. But that thing that's really something. This is some rare piece of something. And, oh, that's that old hibachi, that's Edo period. And that little pieces on top have come off and broken. Now this is just a real old groovy piece to heat your coal and as a heater. So if you're keen on it, let me know. Very heavy, but it could go via sea mail due to size. yeah, it's just cool. If you buy that, you probably make a deal with me on that, I guess. No, that doesn't come with it. That's just the way it didn't. Now, due to its size, see, we know it comes from a temple just right from that. Due to its size, it would have to go by a fast air. And it's very heavy. Any rich people out there? This is just really, yeah, that's, you know, if you want something rare, you want something Japanese rare that no one else has, yeah, that'll. Anyways, that's, oh really, I love it. I just love it. It's just great. Look at this thing here. They've got these like dovetaily things in the handle there, and that goes like that, and goes like that, and alright, that's enough. I'm going to get a few pictures of it, weigh it. You know what? I reckon I might mess around with those tomorrow. I reckon I'll put in enough. Alright, that's that. Contact me. Call me.